Good morning.
And welcome to Ask News. I'd just like to open by saying what a stimulating election, an exceptional campaign effort by both Obama and Romney. And congratulations to President Obama for returning for a second term.
Yes, Sarah. It was an intense race this year, though I must admit I'm glad it's finally over.
Oh, Andrea, many people really enjoy exercising their right to vote. Was your polling station inconvenient?
Oh, not at all.
Then did you forget your voter registration card?
It's not like that either.
Too many candidate promotional callers.
No, Sarah, please. It's just that during the campaign there is always so much information, especially maps, and all they do is confuse me. And probably other people too.
Oh, what do you mean? I think election maps are very insightful and informative. Maps, they tell a story. They present data in a certain way to answer questions. This type of information is good.
I think depending on how that data is presented, the information can be misleading at times, even discouraging to certain groups of voters.
Let's call Ken Wise, our expert on the topic. Good morning, Ken. You're live.
Good morning, Sarah and Andrea. What a campaign we've just had, and what interesting maps have come from it.
Yes, Ken. We were actually hoping you could elaborate for us on some of the pros and cons of these maps. I personally find them to be rather misleading.
And I think they provide the public with valuable information.
Well, you are in fact both right. Maps can both mislead and inform. It depends strongly on the specific map in question and the issue in focus. Let's take a look at some. This choropleth map is generalized so that land and other features are not shown. The map shows only the state boundaries and the candidates each voted for. It also preserves what we consider to be the general size and shape of the United States, and using red for Republican and blue for Democrat, shows the way in which each state is expected to vote. By looking at this map, citizens may assume that the poll is more so in the favor of the Republican Party, because this map portrays it as controlling more overall area. In an election, however, overall area will not win a candidate the presidency. The focus of an election is more so on the electoral college and how many electoral votes each state possesses. Additionally, toss-up states are portrayed using yellow, which is another warm color. People not carefully reading this information could mistake these states to be leaning more towards the Republican Party, in favor of the Republican Party. It would probably be clear if the map's diverging color scheme had a more obvious breaking color. So, although the Republican Party would not be vastly in the lead, unless the viewers are informed about what states hold how many electoral votes and a firm understanding of the color scheme, they could easily misinterpret the map in this way.
And this misinterpretation could cause people to vote differently or feel as though their vote is unimportant. For example, a citizen who was planning to vote Republican may think that it is not necessary to go vote because their candidate of choice already has the lead.
Well, it is certainly a possibility.
I'd never considered the issue in that light. Still, Ken, isn't it so that the flip side remains, that there are still some maps concerning the election that are used to inform the public on the status or the projected status of the election as well?
Absolutely, Sarah. Let's take a look at another map. As you can see, this map is slightly different than the last.
Ken, is that
supposed to be the United States?
No, this is the United States. The appearance is just one that you are not accustomed to. You see, where the previous map is focused on maintaining the size and the shape of the country, giving it equal area and conformal-like properties, the second one has a different purpose. The second map sacrifices these properties for a more abstract appearance, but gains the ability to portray information more relevant to the election more clearly. This map, we'll call it the electoral map, does essentially the same thing as the first map, which we'll refer to as the common map. Both divide the states by the way in which they are expected to vote. The thing that makes the electoral map the less misleading and more informative of the two is the way the data is categorized. The states in this map act as proportional symbols. They all maintain the same shape, but their sizes vary according to the magnitude of the data value they represent. In this case, that data is how many electoral votes they possess, rather than their land area. This is a more accurate way to present the election information, because the point of focus is on the electoral votes, which are the key to being elected. Viewers gain a greater insight into what states are big in the electoral vote sense, rather than simply big spatially. Due to this proportional symbolism approach to representing the data, it becomes apparent that the Republican Party did not have as large of a projected lead as the common map may have led onlookers to believe. The two parties were in fact on much more equal ground.
You're absolutely right, Ken. Why don't Andrea and I show you a map now?
Fantastic! Look at those results! Despite the close appearance in a quarter spatial area, look at how many more electoral votes President Obama received. I see now, Ken. Maps are sometimes misleading. You just need to know what information they're representing and what are you looking for.
Thank you so much for joining us today, Ken.
Andrea, Sarah, it was my pleasure.
Andrea, this is exceptional.
What is it, Sarah?
This just in. You can have your 2012 election and eat it too.
How an innovative artist turns results tasty.
Join us right after this break.